Hey, what is going on guys? RvzStealth here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Kha'Zix changes that are going to be coming in the Assassin rework. Now, first off, I just want to say that I do think these changes are actually really good, and Kha'Zix might actually get better after these changes. Right now, he's already a pretty strong jungler, but once these changes do go to live servers, whenever that is, I feel like he's going to be even stronger now, and the change that he's getting to his ultimate here is just really crazy. So we're gonna take a look at that in a bit, but first off, let's just go over like his abilities here, and I'll run through like what has changed. So first up, let's take a look at his passive here. Now his passive is pretty much the same as it is on live servers right now. The only things that have changed, I'm pretty sure, are that it does no longer have an AP scaling on it. On live servers, for some reason, it's got an AP scaling, and I guess they're removing that, and I think they're giving it an AD scaling now, as you can see by the plus 3.4 there in that orange color. The orange color means that it does have like an AD scaling on it, so the passive is pretty much the same, but I think they're moving it over to an AD scaling now. Now moving over to his Q now, his Q did get some pretty significant changes. It's still the same ability that it is on live servers, but they're tweaking it quite a bit here. So right now on live servers, the unevolved Q, it will deal 30% increased damage to isolated targets, but now on live servers it's going to deal 50% against isolated targets. So this is going to make Kha'Zix's early game really strong now. But if you take a look here at the evolved Q, it no longer deals extra damage when you evolve it now. On live servers, when you evolve his Q, you get a bunch of extra damage, but they're getting rid of that, and instead they're reducing the cooldown on his Q by 60% if you hit it on an isolated target. So this is really strong for dueling, because if you're dueling a champion, and if you take a look there, it's got a 3.6 second cooldown. If you hit that on an isolated target, that's going to be on like a 1 point something second cooldown, which is just insane, and you're going to be able to deal so much damage in such a short period of time if you can get the target isolated. Now I'm pretty sure those are the only changes there to his Q. They are pretty significant, and I think that with these changes is going to make his early game stronger, but his mid to late game might be a little bit weaker. If we take a look at the changes to his W now, they are also pretty significant. So he is getting the slow removed on his unevolved W. However, on the evolved W, he is now going to be gaining a little bit more of a slow, and he also is still going to have the 3 spikes. So right now on live servers, the slow on the unevolved W is 20% for 2 seconds, but when you evolve it now, it's going to be 40% for 2 seconds, and they're also having this new feature to where when the target is isolated, or if the target is isolated, then you are going to slow them for 80% now instead of 40%. Now honestly, I don't really think that you're going to want to be evolving Kha'Zix W, because he isn't a champion to where without the slow he's a bad champion. You really don't need the slow on your W to be effective with him. You have your jump. If you can jump in on your target and you can like burst them down, then that's all you really need to do on him. So I'm pretty sure you're not going to want to evolve this, but we'll definitely have to wait and see. Now his E here is the exact same as it is on the live servers, so when you do evolve it, you are going to be gaining the 200 range, and it also does reset on champion kill or assists. And last but not least is going to be Kha'Zix's ultimate, which is definitely the most interesting change that he is going to be getting with his rework. So now whenever you evolve Kha'Zix's ultimate, whenever you move through any bush in the game, if you're out of combat, you're going to gain your Void Assault, which is your ultimate, but it's going to activate without you even having to like press your R button. It automatically activates whenever you run into a bush for 3 seconds, and also once you're walking out of the bush, it's going to stay active for 1.5 seconds. So this is going to make Kha'Zix's ganks in the early game, once he does hit level 6, insanely strong, because I'll just show you guys some background gameplay here, but you can walk into the bush with this ability. You can wait for that 1.5 seconds after you leave the bush. You can press your R to get another 1.5 seconds of stealth, and then you can show up right behind your enemy, just surprise them, and and burst them down before they can really even do anything. So I do think that with this new ultimate now, you are gonna probably want to evolve this first. I think the evolutions are going to be very interesting now on Kha'Zix, and I feel like there are definitely a lot of different ways that you're gonna want to evolve him. You're not always gonna want to go like Q first now into E second and then either ultimate or W last. You're either gonna want to go, I think, ultimate first now if you want to gank a lot in the early game. I feel like you're probably gonna want to go Q if you want to duel a lot in the early game and you want to try to invade the enemy jungler, because having that 60% reduced cooldown on isolated targets is just really strong. And then with his E, I'm really not too sure like when you're going to evolve this. I feel like having that having the reset on his E is really good once you do start team fighting. So you're probably still gonna want to go E second, but it's gonna be a toss up of whether you want to go R first or Q first now. So overall, guys, I do think that these Kha'Zix changes are really good. I'm definitely not disappointed in the changes at all, and I think that they are going to make him maybe even a stronger champion than what he is on live servers right now. Be sure to let me know down in the comment section below what you guys do think of these changes. If you are a Kha'Zix main, it would be interesting to hear whether or not you do like these changes, or whether or not you think he's going to be stronger or weaker. So that is it, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you all have an awesome day, and I will see you in my next video.